and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Welcome to Big D Energy. Happy Monday to you. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. We got the one, the only, the four-time Stanley Cup champion to my left. His name is Darren McCarty.
Big D Monday.
Big D Monday. And then we got Flannel Sam in the sound booth, looking all flannelly and sexy
Legend
today.
Killer.
And what is this? Is this day 94 of flannels?
No.
97.
No,
97.
97. This is the 97. I even know. We're up in the 90s. We're gonna hit triple digits this week. That's something milestone. You should be happy about. When I scored up my 100th goal, right? I didn't get one of those sterling silver sticks, but the PR department, John Hahn, Anne-Marie Crabman, and the rest of them, they wrapped the stick up in tin foil and gave it to me. So it was the Grind Line 100 goal. I'll always remember that, Sam. We're going to have to put a commemorative, whatever one. You have to put thought in it, whatever flannel you're going to wear for the 100th.
We got to get him like a gold flannel
I
or like a silver
want to put a patch
flannel.
on it.
A patch?
Well, just to commemorate that this was the one that he chose for 100. So I hope he doesn't mail it in like his takes sometimes, and I hope he puts some thought into it. And you know what I know? We're not going to see the Ben Wallace of his jerseys because...
So is it Thursday then?
Maybe if we did, we'd see he's coming around to his senses. But no, good to see you, Sam.
So Thursday will be your 100th?
Yeah, and I guess now I have to put some real thought into which flannel I choose. No pressure, right? Got to get the best one, my favorite one.
No, your favorite one.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I choose. I got something in mind.
You know, we're all going to hate it. But it's your favorite. I mean, just like your takes, bro. Legend killer status. Legend killer.
And then, of course, my man Spencer Raxter over there in TD land, making sure all the cameras are cutting and looking good. And
can I before we get going on this stuff, and I know usually we talk about the weekend and stuff, but can I get an update on Woodward heavyweights, dude? Because, you know, you're double dipping people that they probably do know, but you do this on the Big D Energy. You're kind enough, but then you have to babysit easy from 5 to 7 every night. Give me a rundown of the last week or whatever, what's coming up this week. How's it been going? Because put it this way, got some viral clips out there, bro.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, we got into it a couple times last week, arguing about, we had the Kevin Durant to KD to the D argument we got into for a while. On Friday, we argued about the NFC and the AFC, about which conference is stronger. Easy thinks it's the NFC. I don't know how that's possible, but we argued about that for an hour. So we've had some pretty heated debates, but it's going well. The people seem to like it, so we're going to keep giving the people what they want, and I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Every day, 5 to 7, you guys were doing your show. And what was that? Last Wednesday, I came in here. You guys were doing a show. And just walking in the studio, like, I like the 3 shows that we have right now. But these guys are just bring a completely different energy.
Well, they get to do
more
everything
like
that
a street value.
They get to do everything that I want to do.
Yeah, so they're the guys you want to chill with and hang out with.
To whatever you get more of. I thoroughly enjoy it because it's both you guys being you guys. And, yeah, it's amazing. Sam. Did you know this, though, that you don't have the worst takes at the station? That's easy. By far. So don't worry. That's why you're a legend killer. And he's just the sweetest scout.
I mean, I've got the best takes at the station. But that's just my opinion. But, you know, we're all entitled to our own opinions.
You are all entitled.
Well, D-Mac, let's have a heavyweights type show today then, man. Let's just have some fun. Good. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we yell at each other, have some fun?
Yeah.
Let's talk about our weekends first of all. How'd your weekend go, man? You look like you're straight off the golf course right now.
Oh, I'm in the middle of it. I'll be heading from here out to Red Run for the Catch golf outing, Sparky Anderson's Catch, which near and dear to a lot of our hearts who knew Sparky Anderson. And that's a tribute, isn't it, to a man who has won a World Series here in '84, hasn't been around for 30 plus years, and still his memory. So Jim and everybody who keeps this tradition going, it's always an honor to play. One of those stalwart things during the summertime. And I know last night it was pretty cool. They had the they call it the pairings party and stuff downtown in Motor City.
So you know who you got paired with already?
I'm actually, I actually get to, it's funny because it's funny how things work out, but I'm playing with my buddy Mark from Crispelli's.
Okay,
who I spent the weekend with golfing up north. So,
beautiful.
Because we're part of the same tribe. So, it's got to be fun. Nice day. Nice
Yeah.
day.
Yesterday, I had my very first golf orgy. I'm gonna call it. Like I hit one in the morning, and then I hit another round at night. I played 2 rounds yesterday, separated by some midday drinking.
You got 36.
I
thought it was here. Spencer, did you download that picture I sent you of because I watched the British Open, and obviously shout out to Cam Smith and stuff like this, but also Christopher Bell. We know D-Mac, NASCAR guy. Well, Christopher Bell won in Loudon, which is New Hampshire. You got the 21-pound lobster. But here's how we know we're in 2022. Is because I don't know if anybody saw this on Twitter or not, and Spencer's going to post this picture. But you would think that the guy on the left won the NASCAR and the guy on the right won the golf tournament. No, the guy on the left, whose name is Cameron Smith from Australia, who is sporting a phenomenal mullet.
Beautiful mullet.
He won the golf tournament.
I like how the mullet and mustache combination is making a comeback in the summer of 2022.
And bad mustache, too.
Yeah, it's hot boy summer, man.
It's something, but then Christopher Bell, who you relate to, you'd think that the Kentucky waterfall would belong. Look at that. So for all our people that are listening right now, I got a picture of Cameron Smith with that cheesy mustache and that Kentucky waterfall, and then Christopher Bell, who looks like could have been Chris Osgood's brother rookie year out of 9th grade math class. So congratulations to both of them. But isn't that that's sort of like the opposites?
Yeah, so which is
Awful
it?
world.
Is NASCAR getting more classy, or is golf getting more white trash?
They're both classy and sexy. There it is.
I think it's awesome. And here you go. Never judge a book by its cover, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. But that picture tells 1,000 words.
But that's always like it is. Like you go to some of these golf outings, and the dude that rolls up in a t-shirt and like crappy clubs is the best golfer out there, and the guy that's all
Trunk
clean
slamming
cut,
cutters,
head to toe, he just can't hit the ball, but he looks good.
Well,
just can't play
thing,
good,
right?
Yeah.
This red Vanley, it's because it brings out the blue in my eyes, right? So at least you don't have to play good. You can look good. There you go, Stick.
Yep, that's my
For
motto.
your golf orgy.
Yes.
Did you go with 2 different uniforms?
I did, actually.
No!
I did a uniform switch.
Spence, you hear
I
that?
golfed at
Neil
like
would be very proud of you.
I golfed
for
at
sure.
7 in the morning, and then I got drunk at like 1, and then I took a little nap from like 2 to 4, and then I got up and golfed again from 6 to twilight.
So double golf, like 36 holes. Did you have a double drunk yesterday?
No, because I didn't drink the first time. I didn't drink early in the morning. I waited because I knew I was going to have a boozy lunch. So,
Okay.
yeah, I paced myself yesterday. Very
Nice.
proud of myself.
Yeah. So did you have any mulligans?
That's the only thing I drank early on was a mulligan on the course. Those are so good, man. But yeah, it was a good day. I golfed not great, but I golfed not bad, and that's pretty much golf in a nutshell
that's all you
for
want.
you. The Tigers yesterday, they had some drafting to do, and shout out to the Woodward Tigers who did a live show last night here. Rogelio was in here, Trevor Huth. It was really a good show. The knowledge on these guys, it's like when you bring on the Jeff Iafrate, it's like just because these guys are young doesn't mean they're not like the most knowledgeable on the issue. You look at a guy like Sam Flannel right there. That is a stat machine, so don't judge him because he's young. These guys know their sports, and when the Woodward Tigers were talking last night, I was listening.
I felt bad for them.
Why?
Because they care a lot more than their GM.
Oh.
No, those guys care. I feel bad because these kids they love the Tigers as much as I do. It's just what do they have?
And that's what's crazy.
I think
to
it's
me.
a good thing we drafted somebody other than a high school pitcher. We drafted second base. I don't know. That's how far as I'll go. I will relinquish. That's the beauty of Woodward Sports,
right? Is
we have the Jeff Iafrates and the Sean Murphys and the Kool-Aids that we can go to if I have a basketball question, or Rogelio, who's there every day. Then to Corey Woods as the line season comes up and stuff like this, and Sammy Flannel's going to be all up on Michigan no matter what they do,
right?
So the kid and you know why it works? Because the passion is there. They all have the passion for what they're doing. Is they love it, and it exudes through the screen. Even though I can't wait till these teams
get good.
Well, that's the whole thing. So like with Gentry now covering the wings, and Jeff and Murph and those guys doing basketball, they're looking forward to something. Corey's looking forward to football. I remember last year Corey's down there feeling bad for him. He hasn't got a win yet. He's been down there because I know people are looking at him going, it's your fault. Yeah, 50-some years, it's your fault. But the fact that he's excited.
Corey,
you can see it in the reporting. So,
and that's what I love about Woodward Sports is you guys are kind of like growing with us along with it. And if you remember, like Corey's first on-field, in-game experience at Ford Field was during COVID, and it was when Tom Brady absolutely mopped the floor with the Lions, and we lost like 54-0. But Corey's in there in an empty stadium, and now this year, training camp starting very soon. Corey is now a seasoned vet about how to navigate around Allen Park and just get his articles in line, what he's going to write about. So it's really fun to watch these young guys grow.
Well,
and, you know, from your perspective, you've been reported on, but now to see the other side of it and watch these young guys try to become the reporters, it's got to be pretty neat for you.
It's the passion.
Yeah.
I mean, Juicy nailed it in the chat, right? It's all the passion of these guys. And I can see that they have the same passion for what they do as what I did to play for the Red Wings.
Yeah, it's their craft, right?
And the different passions. So it's really cool because they got to put the work in. They got the stressful time. But like I tell them all the time, trust me, guys, right? It'll pay off. My career didn't start on the highest of notes, even though playing on a great team, you suffered some big losses early on, but it defined on what not only the team was, but you as a character person. So onwards and upwards.
Yeah, well, and onwards and upwards for the Tigers. They drafted Jace Jung last night, and we're going to break that down and talk about that coming up in the next segment. Because this is what I do pretty much with every draft for Detroit, you know, especially with baseball because it can be so many people, and they draft like 27 rounds.
Or it's so relevant because if you look at the farm system and how we draft, it's just like you might as well, you know, be from another planet.
Well, yeah, and you know, a lot of times you don't get a return on these players for, 2, 3, 4 years, so it's really tough to break down their game. But I did my deep dive last night. I found some interesting things about Jung that I like, some things that I'm a little bit hesitant of, but also they drafted a guy in the second round I think is worth discussing too. So we're going to discuss that coming up today on Big D Energy. Plus, we got to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Thank you guys for saying hi. Thank you guys for saying good morning. And thank you all for being a part of the show. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Because when we come back, we are talking about the newest Detroit Tiger, Mr. Jung. And we used to have a guy here named Jung, 2 Youngs that were pretty decent, so maybe we could cash in on that last name again. But first, let me tell you about the SMA, the Sports Marketing Agency. They do this podcast. It's called This is the F Word, discussing fentanyl and just how it affects Southeast Michigan and pretty much the entire United States. So if you know somebody that's dealing with mental health issue or addiction issues, make sure you turn them over to the Sports Marketing Agency. They will help you, and there's no shame admitting when you need help. It's actually the best thing that you can do for your life. So go to thesportsma.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
What's going on, everybody? It is Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They have $12 open unlimited play where you can stay there open until close, have a good time. They also have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane. You can bring in any type of food you want. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down and check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foalingwarehouse.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's listening on the Roar right now and everybody who's downloaded our app. It is free and available for you right now in the Apple or Google Play Store, so just search Woodward Sports. And gotta give a big shout out to Alta. They're up on the back screen.
You guys looked like you had fun this weekend.
Yeah, they did such a cool thing with the American Cancer Society this weekend. We went out there and they set up like all these huge tractors and literally let kids from like 3 to 8 years old hop in there and operate them with another operator. Our very own Rogelio jumped in one and was able to dig up some dirt and drop it, but what an absolute dream it would be to be a child and at that place. Sam came out to support us. It was a lot of fun. Gave out a bunch of little Woodward footballs and just met a lot of kids, and it was just really neat. And all the dads kept coming over to us to talk. Like this dude from Chicago came over and talked to us for an hour standing in our tent just about sports. So like I think people were happy we were there, you know?
Always happy when we're around. That's awesome. We go on to Woodward Sports, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you find Woodward Sports. Check out those pictures.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and Nick Leach beat me in some cornhole, and I don't appreciate that, Nick Leach. But we'll get you back, Nick Leach. Let's talk about the Tigers. Jace Jung, a second baseman out of Texas Tech, big, consistent hitter, lefty. And kind of a guy that fell to the Tigers. They were expecting this guy to go earlier in the draft, and he fell to us at 12 last night. And everybody seems to be pretty happy with this pick. Even our own Adam Baydoun was happy with this pick. And for him to give any okay to Chris Ilitch or Alex Avila, I think...
I thought you were going to say to be happy about anything, but...
Well, yeah, him to be happy about anything in life in general. But no. For him to, like, not roast the Tigers this morning means it's an okay pick, and we'll know down the line. But, you know, just going over this dude's stats, you know, he's 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's going to be 22 in October. 335 batting average, 481 on base percentage, 612 slugging percentage, 42 Ks and 59 walks. So that, to me, shows he has some plate discipline, which you like to see, especially out of a power hitter. You know, usually power hitters combined with strikeouts more than anything else. So it's nice to see him. The one thing the Tigers did have concerns with, or I guess not the Tigers, but scouts had concerns with, is can he be a full-time second baseman? Does he have the glove to make it at the major league level? And that's really the scout concern. Tigers don't really seem to be concerned. They actually said, no, that's not our concern at all, like word for word. We're not going to be able to find out because baseball and hockey are similar in that way. You draft a guy, you put him through the league, and hopefully he works his way up. But how are you feeling about this pick?
Well, I think because he is 22. He's a little bit older. You know, he's put years behind him. You know, you mentioned 21 homers last year, 39 career, the plate discipline, stuff like this. They see it. Here's the thing. In this organization, if you're good, there's nobody in front of you.
Right.
You'll get fast tracked. So maybe this is what we're looking at in the Wings organization the past few years with guys like Sider and Raymond, where it's 1 year in the Swedish Elite League or in the minors and then you're up. Maybe we're going to see more of a fast track if he's available to play, right? And the fast track is how quick before he's in AAA.
Right.
And then he's seeing bat, and I'm not saying that he's, you know, automatically up here, but can he get to AA and AAA in the same year, which means that there's progression. You just, you know, you look with the Tigers, they finally did the right thing with Spencer Torkelson and, you know, taking the pressure off him and you know, it's that disappointment. So you're guarding against that. You want more of the Riley Green when you come up. Now, I know that they're not on the same talent level, but efficiency, being a second baseman, that can hit with good plate discipline, that can get on base, and the Tigers feel that he's got a decent enough glove. Well, you know what? He can work on his glove. You know, like that's the one thing. So if he is that good, and it doesn't matter who it is. You mentioned a second rounder. No matter who these guys are, there's there's minimal competition, not like in other organizations. Why it usually takes so long is because you get drafted first overall, but that means you're behind the first round of the year before and the first round of the year before that. It's systematic and it takes time. Now, not when anything's ahead. So sky's the limit. You just got to protect against pushing a guy too quick, and then it becomes a detriment. So, and just to add on that, because I brought Spencer Torkelson's name up because I think it's important. is that this is a blessing in disguise if he embraces this and goes down and then starts putting up the numbers again that we think he should, and to see the baseball again and stuff like this. So along these lines, with any of these young guys that we get, look for them. If they have the ability, then they will get fast-tracked, because there's nobody ahead of them.
That is true. They're not standing in a very long line. And the one thing I do love about Jace Jung, I feel like this is kind of similar to the Lions and the Pistons draft. There's a guy that we didn't think we were going to get, and all of a sudden he falls into our lap. You can do that with Aiden Hutchinson. You can do it with Jamison Williams. You can do it with Jaden Ivey. He's a guy that we were hoping would be there at 5. This is another guy we didn't think would be there at 12, and all of a sudden there he is. And I think the whole organization, I believe the quote I wrote it down here, we got lucky. That is the quote directly out of the organization.
Don't you have to get lucky?
Yeah, but that's what I love. Like I've seen it twice with their organizations, with the Lions and the Pistons, and now I'm seeing it again with the Tigers, and that's good. It feels good to be getting lucky in these drafts. Now, obviously, he has to prove himself on the field. We can say we're lucky right now, but if he comes out, can't hit the ball, and can't really adapt to the league, then we didn't get lucky at all. We got screwed, right? We got sold on false narrative. I like the fact that the Tigers now, we can look at them and at least have the conversation that they drafted smart, like the Lions and the Pistons just did.
Well, I don't know if they did or not, but what I do know is, like you said, you did a deep dive, and if you look at this kid, I would put Jace Jung, you put ball player. He's a baseball player.
Yep.
Right? There's ball players. Robbie Grossman's a baseball player. The guys that love the game. So, I like the pick. Obviously, the one thing is when you say that, you have to get lucky, but you still have to make the right choice for your organization.
Right.
So, they did it in different ways, right? You look at, Hutchinson dropped, but you expect him to play. Jamison Williams is the one that the Lions, when they moved up to get him, and what the Tigers did, if this is one of the guys moving forward, then they were there and they recognized that this was the guy they're going after. I like it because it's a middle infielder. It's a baseball guy, a guy that's played a few seasons that shows some consistency with the bat. We need guys in the infield to produce, right? And you know what? So if he's a replacement for Jonathan Scope, I think we're all for it.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I think a lot of times some Detroit GMs get caught up in the too smart for the room scenario. And in all of our drafts this calendar year, I haven't pointed out there's no Jelani Tavai. There's no guy that we're reaching for that people are like, why the hell are you drafting that guy there? Everybody we've drafted has been like, oh man, you're lucky he was in that position to get. And that just makes me feel good as a fan moving forward. So I'm just happy we can have that conversation today and not like, oh, they took some guy that we probably could have gotten the 3rd round, but we reached for him at 12,
Right. Well, Austin Meek in the chat's just thread, if this means anything, said he went to Texas Tech and recently graduated. Jung is a stud, plays with heart, and will mesh well with Tork and Green, which is, I like to see that. To me, he's a ball player, and I like the fact that we drafted a ball player and a position player.
Yeah, and I'm
tired of waiting for pitchers that we trade away.
I like that we doubled up, too, in the second round and went shortstop. Like when were the Tigers awesome back in the 80s when we had a
Sweet
shortstop?
Lou,
when we had Sweet Lou and Alan Trammell. Not saying that these guys are them. Please, Owen in the back, do not clip me and say these guys are Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that we're drafting 2 young guys that can come up together and build that chemistry and hope one day they have that double play connection that we had back in the day. Not that we I'm not saying they're that now. Owen, don't do it to me again. I'm asking you.
And they're familiar with each other. I'm seeing this right here from Jason Beck. Jace Jung and Peyton Graham, the shortstop out of Oklahoma we drafted in the 2nd round, were roommates in summer ball and then rivals in the Big 12. So, they're close with each other. They know each other already, and now, like you said, they're going to be brought up together. So, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, Sam, how you feeling about this? I know you got some opinions on this.
About the Jace Jung pick, I'm very happy about it. And the thing that really catches my eye are 59 walks and 42 strikeouts. You cannot teach plate discipline. And if that can translate to the big leagues, that can be really, really great, a great thing for the Tigers. And obviously, he's just a college masher. That dude can just hit the ball for average and for power, and he gets on base. He kind of reminds me of as a prospect of Spencer Torkelson, like a college masher who seems like he's kind of big league ready right now, and the early returns on Torkelson aren't great. But Spencer Torkelson didn't have more walks than strikeouts in college. Jace Jung does, and honestly, if he can play replacement level defense at second base and can, translate that plate discipline and power and average to the big leagues, I think it's going to be a good pick. I like what I see so far.
All right, well, let's go around the room real quick and do some grades, because that's what we do after every draft. You got to do the grades. And I'll start with you, Sam. How do you feel the Tigers, just off of yesterday, first and second round pick, how do you feel they did grade-wise?
I'll give them a B+, just because in baseball, these guys could flame out in the minors, but I like what I see so far. I'll say B+. All
right, what about you, Spence?
I'm going to say B. Yeah, it's exactly like what Sam was saying. You don't really know what you got yet because it's so crazy with baseball. But with Jace Young, me and Ryan Lentz, our baseball head in the back, we're talking about we could see him playing third even. Like if they want to move on from Candelario, they could put him at third. So I like the flexibility it gives us, and he has proven he can be a good hitter. So,
all right, D-Man?
Too early to tell.
Incomplete?
Too early to tell. But no, I mean, if you're going by how everybody else you have to look at how the rest of the league looks at it. And if Alavila's trending and not negatively, he's right. Fired, then he must have done a good job. So I think that on paper it's a B.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to go over the top and give it an A, but that probably has to do with I wasn't too excited about anybody at 12 anyway, so I didn't think
you're not going to be excited with the guy drafting because you don't trust him.
Right.
So that takes it away. Why are we excited in the other drafts?
Because we trust.
Because
Weaver.
we trust in Holmes, we trust in Weaver, we trust in Eisenman.
Yeah.
So that's the why.
Yeah, so I'll give it a B, and I think across the room then we got a B, which is fine. It's so funny with the Tigers. We're like, we'll take a B. Yeah. A B is fine with the Pistons. It's like, that was an A+ draft. We got 2 starters. We're going to be in the play. But with the Tigers, it's just, okay, a B. I'll take it. It's, they're the dumb kid in class,
like
and we're happy when they get a B.
Class.
It's like when I was in school.
It's like you got a B in gym class.
Yeah, that's...
No, I mean, it's
I used to hate gym class, man. That's
what I'm saying. That brought the average up. But I'm just like... I just don't think we have many expectations when it comes to Al.
Right. One place I do have expectations, though, to make me look the best is Lady Jane's. So why don't you tell us about that, D-Mac?
Well, you come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience, and you register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car. Yes, the car of your dreams. From Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. So Lady Jane's Haircuts open 7 days a week from 10 to 8. You walk in anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome. Tell him Big D Energy sent you. Be right back. Stick in for Neil D. Mac, Spence, and the Legend Killer, Sammy Flannel.
It's Feldman's Carmageddon, the 4-day used car super sale. We're putting an end to high prices. 4 days of the best deals with more than 3,000 used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Carmageddon starts July 21st at 8 convenient locations. If you're tired of not being able to get the car you want, then shop Feldman's Carmageddon, the 4-day used car super sale. Hurry in while supplies last.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Odds Trader, as my man Fish says it. You go to oddstrader.com right now, and you can get the best possible line across all sports books. That's what they do. They compile every line, so if you're thinking, you know what, I think I get another half point here. Oh, look, this sports book has it. This one doesn't. Thank you, Odds Trader, for giving me the best bet possible. So make sure, if you are going to gamble, you make sure you go to Odds Trader, give yourself the best line there is. Oddstrader.com, or they have an app that you can download too. Welcome back to Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. That is Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. And we have Sam Flannel in here. We have Spencer Rax in here. And we kind of touched on his name a little bit, Spencer Torkelson. He got sent down to the minors. And I kind of want to pose this question in two ways, right? A, we got to address Torkelson, the individual. But B, I want to talk to you because hockey does this a lot. The overall psychology and effect on the player and the coaching staff and the team when you move a player up and down like this. But first of all, let's stick with Spencer, right? Do you think this is the right move at the right time for that young man?
No, I think it should have been done a while ago.
I'm with you.
Yep. But I get, why do they exhaust all opportunities? Now, I don't know Spencer Torkelson. From what I see and from what I hear, he's a resilient guy. This is the one thing. So I think you brought up the one thing you brought up, right? It's the responsibility of the organization and the coaches to let him know. Like, he obviously has compounded pressure on himself, right? Yes. He's a first-round pick, supposed to be this, supposed to be that. He's got his buddy up there in green. They're supposed to be the future of this organization. It just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. Right? So now instead of taking this as a detriment, it's how does he take this as I need to go down and do some work? He's going to be afforded every opportunity to succeed. He knows he's produced at that level. It's going down mostly, I think, to get confidence back. Right. Because once he gets confidence and the talent that he has, he should be okay. But for whatever reason, the game just seems too fast for him now. So I think that because he's young, and you can't look at this if you're the player, and I know it's harder because you're younger and it might be like the end of the world, like you failed, but no, it's just this will only help. And you know what I love is what I think is he's the type of player that can use this as an asset, as a benefit not only for himself, but also have the story to be able to help other guys along when they struggle. So no one wants to see him struggle, but I think this is I think it's late, but better late than never. Okay. And now I'll be interested because I will definitely tune into Toledo. I mean, I know when I ask Raj things, I'll be asking him how's Tork doing down in Toledo. Is he seeing the ball better? And here's the one thing that you have to understand. Is you look at Akil Baddoo, he got called back up. He's done some things. He's done some things that he did before, but he also has come up and he looked a little bit different. Like he got some confidence. So you're hoping that mixed in with first overall, that helps Torkelson regain his confidence and move forward. So, the simple answer is yes, it's the right move. I just would have done it month ago or so.
And that's exactly
but
my
you know
response
why
on it
it's
too.
The right move, Stick, and I guess it's not this would be it's because they waited till All-Star break. It's sort of like you and I talk, it's sort of like all of us going Blashill should be fired with a month left or 6 weeks left, and I said, well, he will if there's a detriment. But it seems like the same way as Steve Eisman waited till the end of the season to fire Jeff Blashill the day after. Right. They waited till All-Star break right before it to be able to sort of regroup. So they gave it that. They said that it looks like the inner conversation between A.J. Hinch and Al Avila and the powers that be was let's give the kid until the All-Star break. And if it doesn't improve,
and you wonder if they had that conversation with Torkelson too, like, hey man, like we're gonna give you to the All-Star break to pick it up. If you can't by then, but we're gonna move you down. But I'm with you. I think I was actually filling in for you with Neil about a month ago when he asked me about sending him down, and the response Neil had, and I believe Rogelio had, because me and Rogelio had this conversation actually at the Big Boy too when we were live at Big Boy, was that you don't send him down because there's nobody to bring up. And yeah, there's that theory, right? Nobody else could come up to cover up Torkelson. But what I like about sending him down a month ago is you're getting ahead of the problem, right? As soon as you see an issue, you should attack an issue. If you wait another month, now we're talking a whole nother month of at-bats, a whole nother month of pressure that he couldn't perform, and it's just compounding on top of itself. Yes, there is the opportunity that he could have come out of it, and then it's like, oh, I made my way in the majors, I found my way in the majors. But if you have a young player like this, I was a big fan on letting him go get his timing again and then bringing him back up, because you got to keep these kids in the game mentally. It's so tough. And baseball is a lot between the ears, man. When you're up at that plate, it's just you and the pitcher. If you're thinking about anything else besides hitting that baseball, you're already done. You're striking out. It's over. The game's over for you. So I love that they sent him down, but I'm with you. I wish they would have done it a month ago.
But to your point, and to Rogelio and Neil's point about you can't send him down because who are you going to bring up, does that not tell you that the situation is maybe a little more dire? That his timing, that he can't fix it up here, that he needs to go back down there. And, because it's got the pitchers, you're going to see softer pitching. Right. It's all about confidence.
Well, and
it's
mastered
totally
it
about
before.
confidence.
That's the thing. He's mastered the pitching in the below leagues. So getting that back there it's kind of fool's gold, but it's also you need to find that rhythm again. You have to.
To me, it goes to show you, because the point Rogelio O'Neill brought up about you can't send him down because there's nobody there, means if you send him down, he really needs to do some work. Right? Like, it's not getting any better soon.
So then that leads me to the question, because hockey does this as well as baseball. How does it mess with the psyche of a player to get moved up and down like that?
When you're younger, it shouldn't. And it depends on what organization you're in.
Okay.
If you're in the Red Wings organization back in the 90s, you don't want to get drafted here because you're not taking my job.
Right.
And there's 20 other guys on the roster, or at least the 5 or 6 of us that maybe jobs were up for grabs, weren't giving them up, meaning the grind line or whatever like that. So it's more frustrating, I think, when you go to a team that doesn't have the talent and you've been afforded the opportunity and stuff. So that's psyche, but it's all part of progress. Now this is a little bit different situation too, because this is supposed to be your not miss guy, right? You're supposed to have 2 not miss guys, and as Neil always brings up, the odds are out of the 2 of them, one of them is going to miss. So right now, one of them is missing. So doesn't mean he can't improve. I think that and here's how, right, Stick? No matter what sport you're playing, no matter what in life, right? When you get corrective criticism, or when somebody sort of gives you crap, or when you maybe you're not doing your job up to what people expect of you at your employment, everybody takes. The human nature is to take it wrong, but are you going to learn from it? So the quicker that he learns from it and realizes that this is actually a blessing, not a curse,
right,
helps him get back. So it also goes to the maturity.
Yeah, and there's examples of this. I mean, the biggest example I think we can all point to as Tigers fans of this actually working is Max Scherzer. He came up, they had to send him back down. He caught his rhythm and then became pretty much a Hall of Fame pitcher ever since then.
That still didn't convince us because we didn't re-sign him, so
yeah, we
let
didn't
him go.
We didn't pay the man his money, but either way. But there's also hundreds of examples the other way. What were you saying, Spence?
I said we offered him $214 million. It's not like we didn't try to pay him.
Can you imagine being able to turn down $214 million?
Juan Soto turned down $440 million.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So this got brought up too. Juan Soto turned that money down. We should approach him.
The comparisons of Juan Soto
and Miggy,
of Juan Soto in Washington and Miggy in Miami.
So we're just taking on long contracts. That's what we do. We got to replace one with another one.
I mean, the biggest knock on Chris Ilitch is he doesn't spend money,
there.
right? He
but
spent $300 million
Go
last
get Juan
season.
Soto, you're still hitting the same position, can't fill the rest of the team. Why don't you wait until you can get somebody that can put a team together, and then maybe if Juan Soto's a missing piece, you don't mind paying that money, like we did Miguel Cabrera and went to 2 2 World Series that we couldn't win. Right? So, I don't know. You're not there, so you're going to spend the money. I don't trust the guys that are putting it together. So, I don't know. The comparison, that's great, but the comparison also will be at the end of the contract the same comparison as what Miguel.
Yeah, and that's what scares you. You're going to be paying $40 million to a 50-year-old.
How do we do on those long-term contracts when at the end of it all we do is bitch him on the guy who only hits singles?
Mr. Sammy G says, go for Juan Soto. He wants him, baby.
I mean, I'm cool with, if we offer Juan Soto a long-term contract like we offered Miggy, and he has the exact same career as Miggy, I'm 1,000% great with that.
Yeah, I don't think you could put a price tag on Miggy's career.
No.
I mean, he's the best hitter of all time, arguably the best hitter of all time. Sam, what do you think? Would you give that much money to Juan Soto?
I would give that much money to Juan Soto because Juan Soto is the best offensive player in baseball right now. He is my favorite player. He is my dream as kind of an analytics sort of guy because that man just gets on base and he hits with power. He hits with average. He already won a World Series in 2019 as their best player with the Washington Nationals. If we got Juan Soto, I think Juan Soto could actually be better than Miguel Cabrera with the Tigers if we got him like right now. I know it's kind of a pipe dream, but look at Juan Soto's numbers.
Hot take, Sam.
Look at Juan Soto's numbers. All y'all who are going to like clown me for this, look at Juan Soto's numbers. Look at what he's done. He is the best offensive player in baseball.
Yeah, the only thing that Cabrera beats him on at this stage is average, right? He's beating him on everything else.
The question, though, is, does anybody asking why he wouldn't take the money?
That is a good question. I don't know why anybody on this planet would not take $440 million.
Didn't he take that money? Is it an organizational thing? For the minute you'd think that, oh, well, it's the Washington Commanders. Oh, no, that's a football team. That's Dan Snyder. He doesn't own this. So there's not schmozzle going on in that organization that we know of. But why would he turn it down? Anybody ask that question?
I don't know.
Because he thinks he's going to get more? Is somebody going to pay him more?
He should. I mean, if everybody in here is looking at him as the next Miguel Cabrera, then yeah,
nobody batted a lash.
He should be signing $600 million contracts.
Being overpaid.
Yeah,
nobody batted a lash.
Literally, if you look at his splits with Miguel Cabrera's, from Miguel Cabrera with the Marlins and him with the Nationals, they're almost exactly the same.
So are we looking at he's going to sign? So at $440 by the Nationals, that means he says no. One of the arguments is because he's going to go somewhere else and get more money.
Well, that somewhere else could be Detroit. I got no problem paying this guy, man. I have no problem paying premier athletes like that. If you're not going to be able to do that, you're not even in the game. Like, you got to take the risk. You got to lay it out there. When the Tigers were winning and constantly going to World Series, we had top 10 payrolls. That's it. This is baseball. There is no salary cap. So if you're not spending, we're not Billy Bean here. You know, like, we got to spend money in Detroit. And what I don't understand about organizations like Detroit that don't spend money is when you're winning, you're making endless amounts of money. So why wouldn't you constantly overpay to win, even if you're diving into the luxury tax?
Before we go to break, I want to pull. I just found the graphic of the splits, so let me pull it up.
Put yourself on the camera, baby.
It's
looking sexy over there, Spence. Just want to let you know today.
I appreciate that. I trimmed my beard up a little bit this weekend.
So what are you throwing up?
The Soto and Cabrera splits.
Okay, there's the splits. Yeah, the only place Cabrera hasn't beat is batting average. Soto's at 292, Cabrera's at 311. But outside of that, I mean, they're
yeah. He's got like 90 more hits in 200 more plate appearances, or 150 more at bats. Soto has more home runs. Cabrera's got more WAR. RBIs, but I mean, man, 21 WAR. They both have 2 top 5 MVP finishes. They both got the World Series. Like, wow, man, it's pretty shocking to see that.
Why don't you put that as the next poll? Would you want Soto? How much would you pay? Would you pay the $440 for him? And obviously, you're going to have to pay more since he turned that down. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation, especially when you look at the splits like that. And I would not mind another 10 years of Miguel Cabrera peak level baseball here in Detroit. It's not coming out of my pocket, so I don't care what we got to pay, to be honest with you. So yeah, Juan Soto, he's out there. Torkelson, he is down in AAA. And that leads us to the question about all of our Detroit teams and where they're at in their rebuilds, and we're going to kind of rank them coming up next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. But first, let me tell you about the Summer of Cintron. It is here and it is available for you in your local Kroger store. But if you don't want to go to Kroger and you want to do things like we do in 2022, you can just order online. Go to cintronworld.com/Red Wings right now, and you can get a limited edition 6-pack with the Red Wings logo on it right there. Pretty awesome. They're proud partners of the Red Wings, so go to cintronworld.com right now /Red Wings. Order yourself a case of Cintron.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Bet Show. Hey, what a red hot weekend we just had. We called the winner of the Open. Our boy Booner, he's been red hot too. So listen, you guys got to make sure you're checking us out at 4:30 over at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. You also got to make sure you check out oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, we got to get back to some winners. You said, wait a minute, we don't got any games to bet on? Well, that's not true. We got the home run derby here tonight. Listen, I'm rolling with Pete Alonso to win again 3 times in a row, plus 185. Let's roll with it. oddstrader.com, Woodward Bets. Check it out.
The Monroe Street Midway is here, and it's downtown, so you can enjoy your summer. I'm talking roller skating. You can listen to live DJs, do some dancing, eat some food. They got free Wi-Fi if you just want to go work down there and play a day of hooky. But I'm telling you, the Monroe Street Midway, downtown Detroit, we're going to be doing a live broadcast from there this Friday with the Bottom Line, and Braylon's going to have a three-point shooting contest while he's out there. Ooh. So if you want to beat Braylon, make sure you get down there this Friday, the Monroe Street Midway with Woodward Sports. Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's been a part of the chat today on YouTube. We appreciate you. Make sure you drop that like. Make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you get in on the polls because we want to know what you think, and I love being interactive with you guys. And everybody that's listening to us on the Roar right now, 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2, thank you for being along for the ride. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Darren McCarty is up on the desk. Flannel Sam is in here. And, of course, Spencer Rackster doing his thing, which I think Spencer has my favorite nickname of all time. Spenmo Rax. Like, the way that flows with your real name, yep. Honestly, that is some of the hardest stuff I've ever heard in my life.
My dad thought of it.
Your dad thought of it?
Yeah.
What's your dad's name?
Danny.
Danny Rax?
Danny Ray Raxter. Yeah.
Danny Rax.
My boss name was Billy Ray Raxter. We're some Southern boys, but it's
for real. Billy Ray Raxter's in your family.
Billy Ray Raxter is my boss.
Yeah, you know he's going to be at Faster Horses this weekend. Yeah. There's no other place that guy's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, but like my dad's literal name is Danny. It's not Daniel. On his birth certificate it says Danny.
Spenmo Rax, but what a great nickname. And yeah, shout out to Alex Merrill. I appreciate you too, my guy. So we're talking about the Tigers. Obviously, they had their draft, add a couple more pieces. Last year, we were excited about how the season was coming to an end, expecting maybe a playoff push this year. Did not get even close to that. We were kind of out of it by May. But where in the ranks of where everybody's rebuilding right now that the Pistons have had their draft, now that the Red Wings have had their draft, now that the Tigers have had their draft, where are you putting your rankings 1 through 5 or 1 through 4? DCFC, we're leaving you out of the conversation because you've already built a championship. Out of teams trying to build a champion, who you got, D-Mac?
Well, out of the big four, it's right there on the screen. Wings, Pistons, Lions, Tigers.
In that order for you two?
Yeah, in that order. And I think before free agency, you could have argued the Pistons and the Wings as 1 and 1A. But what Steve Yzerman did in free agency had the changes that he made to this opening day roster from last year's opening day, and just the improvements, the size, the toughness, the character guys that he added in the Prawns and the Sherratts, and Andrew Kopp's a big year. Oli Mata, Ville Husso. I don't think he's done because he's got to have to maneuver. There's some NHL players. You still got, long-term IR and Robbie Fabry or whatever coming off an injury. There's questions. You're going to have, through training camp, put somebody on waivers and stuff. So there's somebody out there that played last year or was in the NHL going to training camp that won't be in the jersey, but that only means you're getting better. So to me, kudos to to Steve Eiserman, Troy Weaver, Brad Holmes for what they've done. But I just think that the Wings are just a little bit ahead just because of what they added.
Okay. I'm going to put the Pistons at the top of this list just because I can pinpoint 3 long-term starters that we're going to have for a long time. And obviously with hockey, you're playing a lot more people per game. I'm talking about a 12-man roster. So when you could fill out the amount of spots that we have with a Cade Cunningham, with an Ivy, with a Duran, those are long-term players that I think we can build around, and it gives me confidence moving forward. Because now we really only need to find 1 or 2 more pieces, right? With the Red Wings, I think they still need to find their goalie. They still need to find a couple of bigger pieces. With the Pistons, I think they got the groundwork laid. And like I said, it's 1 and 1A. It's not like the Red Wings are far behind. I'm just talking in the scheme of basketball. And then if you ask this question, who's closer to winning a championship, I always love to take the approach of the NFL. Because the NFL, I have seen more teams go from worst to championship than any other sport I've ever watched in my entire life. So all it takes is one special year, a couple special bounces, and an NFL team can go further than they should. So I never like to count the Lions out as far as it goes to going for a championship. Obviously, I think we all know that the Tigers are bottom of this list, even though they've been picking the top of the draft for the past, I feel like, 10 years. But yeah, if I'm choosing it, I'm going Pistons, Red Wings, Lions, then Tigers.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. I think that you bring up a great point because the worst to first in the NFL, it could be the Lions that win the next championship.
That's what's exciting about
town.
The NFL, right?
And you bring up a great point, too, about having 3 legit 3 out of the 5 starters to move forward. Now, the seasoning and learning how to play and growing and like I always said, wait till Cade Cunningham hits his man body because he's still in that.
He looks beast mode this offseason, though.
Yeah, you see him.
You saw it, right?
But what I'm saying is you're seeing the development of that as he matured, yes. And some guys will mature into their man body quicker than others. I just think it's going to take them a few years to figure out and then add those pieces. But when we're sitting here and going, they have their 5, right? That's when it's going to be exciting because when they do, you got to think that that's still a year, 2 years away, maybe 3 years away. But when they do, look at all the games all these guys have got under their belt together. The most exciting thing for the Pistons for me is I hope that they stay healthy so they get to be on the floor and get to play together because then we get to see that chemistry.
Yeah, and they're to a point where if they make the playoffs and get knocked out in the first round, I'm still looking at that as growth. Like about 5 years ago when the Pistons were making the playoffs and getting knocked out of the first round, we had old players. They weren't learning anything. This time around, it's like, okay, at least they learned the playoff intensity. At least they learned the mindset and how to get ready and prepared for those games. So, yeah, I'm in a no-lose situation with these 3 teams. I love it.
No, I mean it's a great thing. Neil always says, it could be this. It's the eyeball test where the team is better, maybe the record's not.
Right.
That could be the case. Especially that's more so for the Red Wings because of the Eastern Conference. So there's a lot of great teams, and the teams that made a lot of the big noises, the Ottawas, the Carolinas, are in the East. So it's tough sledding, but it makes you more resilient. I still expect all of them to. Everybody knows they're all there now.
Right.
I mean, instead of getting laughed at or people guaranteeing a win to their record when they come and play our teams, even more so in the football team. Coming off of 3 wins, it's a lot of confidence. And it'll be interesting to me for all these teams because of their youth. It's about staying healthy.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for the Lions only winning 3 games with people not wanting to play them. That's something to be said. Like, hey,
well, they got the call. Like,
it's going to be a
first
battle.
Step to any program
effort
is does the players? You might not have the talent, but do they play for the coach?
And we know they do.
And we know that they
do.
Even when they're getting blown out at home or whatever, it was that the effort was there, and that's a testament to their respect for Dan Campbell.
All right,
and then he got better, and they got better.
Flannel Sam, how would you rank the 4 right now?
I would go Red Wings 1, Lions 2, Pistons 3, 50 feet of crap, Tigers. Red Wings 1, obviously, because, Steve Yzerman, he's a guy who's done it before at Tampa. What they added in free agency with their depth. His first ever pick was Mo Sider, who ended up being the Calder winner. And then next year, Lucas Raymond, who probably should have been second. And, in the NHL, especially the last 2 Stanley Cup champions, Cale Makar and Victor Hedman were like 2 of the cornerstones at defense, and we're hoping Mo Sider can get to that point. And then the Lions, with Penei Sewell, looks like a gold jacket guy. I'm as high on him as Neil. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Aleem McNeil was on the Pro Football Focus all-rookie team. And then last year, Aiden Hutchinson was probably the best prospect in the draft. The Lions got him. And then Jamison Williams, I think, was a steal. So much good drafting by Brad Holmes. And then 3, I love the Cade Cunningham pick because it wasn't as cut and dry as people think now, but Troy Weaver was smart enough to get him. But the thing about the Pistons, why I put them 3, is 1, the NBA, the Eastern Conference, looks tough. And 2, guys like Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren are still unproven. I still think that Killian Hayes was a bad pick. I'll say it right now. I call him 30-20, 30% from the floor, 20 in the 20% from 3, and I don't like that. I think that was a bad pick, but still, I believe in all 3 GMs that I just mentioned, and then, like I said, 50 feet of crap, Tigers, and Alavila is a bum, and they look like they're going to be in purgatory, the Tigers, for many, many years to come.
All right. Well, that doesn't look good for the Tigers in Sam's predictions. What about you, Spenmo?
I got the Red Wings first. Like what D-Mac said, they were right there with the Pistons, because they both got the young studs. They both got the guys that are going to be the cornerstone of their franchise for a long time. You see that with Cade. You see that with Sider. But what Stevie did, where he went out there and he brought in these veteran pieces in free agency that will help them win now, that will help them push for the playoffs now, will show them how to win in the NHL, how to have a consistent season in the NHL, is what I think put them a little bit higher than the Pistons. I have the Pistons 2, like what you said. We have 3 pieces that I can see being on our team for the next 15 years. We have secondary pieces like Sadiq Bey, like Isaiah Stewart, like Killian Hayes, like Isaiah Livers, that are rotational pieces that every good NBA
Livers
team
look
needs.
Nice, man.
He looks good. And honestly, the Lions are close. The Lions are close to cracking that top 2, because if these guys work out, if Hutchinson works out, if J-Mo works out, really all they need is a quarterback and a stud linebacker, and then they'll be a playoff team. So it's and then the Tigers are trash. So
and that's a fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
Instead of which team's worse, we're saying which team's going to be the best and quickest to get there. This is so much better than like 2 years ago. We were not having this conversation.
Here's the conversation: which team will need Guardian Alarm first to protect their championships, guys? Because we know Guardian Alarm is there for you. They keep you safe, give you peace of mind, no matter what. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rate from your phone. So if you want Guardian Alarm, your local security experts, you can have them. We want you to, but you need to call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
97 straight flannel protecting days. Give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my
house. Franchise
Alavila.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, good riddance, and there you go. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Big D.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner jumper.
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hello, you like ciabattas? I do, and you can get them at Big Boy.
Chicken Club.
Ooh, you like the chicken club? Yeah. I do love some bacon on my chicken sandwich and a little honey mustard on that thing too. Chicken cordon bleu. They got the sunrise ham and cheddar. All of that. The sandwiches come with fries and a Pepsi. You can't beat that. Make sure you go to Big Boy restaurant near you. Go to bigboy.com. Check out their entire new menu. But when you're there recently, make sure you grab one of those ciabattas because they're so good. I think, actually, I'm going to grab that for lunch today. Big Boy, get the ciabattas, baby. Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, or as Fish likes to call me. And Ryan Armani said I should just go by Sam Day. This is Sam Day reporting. I always feel like a reporter when I say that, though.
Yeah, if you're reporting, out maybe like this weekend you were at the Alta Rents with the kids playing Tonka trucks. You could be Sam Day here with little Johnny. Johnny, how was it? That was awesome. I got to lift the truck and the thing. I mean,
Sam Day reporting live from Alta.
Hey, Regilio, how was it? Oh, it was fun. Better than being at a Tigers game.
Regilio is like a little kid getting into that tractor. Like the guy was showing him how to use it.
Yeah, because look at all the bad baseball he's watched this year, bro.
Kid.
That had to be like that had to be like you and your Gorgie.
My Gorgie this weekend. Yeah. Anytime you can get 36 holes in, you do it, gentlemen. Yeah. That's how we roll.
TJ two different outfits, too, guys. Two different outfits, not the same place.
Yes.
Love it.
You look good, you play good.
Can I mention one thing?
Always.
Before we move on. Because I seen it that I saw somebody in the chat thread had mentioned that Simon Edmondson had turned up at training camp. He obviously being our draft pick, one of the guys, how big he is. Here's a little thing as far as what if you want a little insight from what I saw. So there's a picture out there with him. The first thing you go by is what jersey number did they give him? Did you see what jersey number he wore?
No.
Number 3.
All right.
They don't give chuggers number 3, which means they don't give guys, that's not a training camp number. Like my first training camp, I think was 64.
It's just some random odd number.
No, they give you that number when they expect great things from you to transition into, because more likely than not, he would wear number 3 in the Red Wing jersey. So it's just getting you set. It might, and why do I say that? Because different guys need motivation. I know that when I walked in, when 25 was there, when I got to choose it in exhibition and stuff like that, it sort of meant that I made the team. It's a big feeling.
Yeah.
So I not only look at that as a fan going, oh, that's interesting. He's got a playing number right now. You can always look to that of sort of expectations and stuff.
And they feel that in the locker room too, like, they already gave the rookie a playing number. Like,
yeah, but he's sort of with great expectations. You know what I'm saying? So it only and first round picks, it seems more apropos to a number, but anyways, he looked good in that 3. Threw it out nice.
We had high expectations for TJ Hockenson when he got drafted by the Lions in the first round. And, a couple years into his career, he's now ranked the 7th tight end according to coaches and players. And here's a look at the top 10. George Kittle, number 1. Kelsey, number 2. Waller, number 3. Andrews, number 4. Kyle Pitts, number 5. Dallas Goedert at number 6. TJ Hockenson, Dalton Schultz. You got Knox coming in at number 9. And then Hunter Henry at number 10. TJ Hockenson at number 7. That's not exactly where they wanted him to be when they projected drafting him out of Iowa. But at least Noah Fant isn't higher than him on that list, which was the other guy they had an option of drafting that year. And I think number 7's a fair spot for him to land, right?
Well, it's top 25%. And it comes back. It's the same argument with Hockenson being drafted 8. If he was drafted 20th, if he was a later first-round pick or whatever like that, he's got to hold on to it. Now, I would usually shrug it off, except the guy that usually sits in that seat will tell me why it makes a big deal in it, because of the rookie contract moving into second contract.
Yes.
Because it makes this, it's what do you have to pay this guy because of being a first-rounder? Then your tight end, you have to pay him $10 million. If he's up there at 7 producing like a top 5 guy, or what your expectations are. I think that what are expectations? That he produces like a top 5 guy?
Yeah, and he's right on that cusp, right? And not only is he right on that cusp, he's right on that cusp in an offense that was in bottom third of the league last year. And he's doing it, like Adam likes to compare him to Eric Ebron, and that's fine. You can look at the stats, but it's a completely different scenario. Eric Ebron came into an established offense. He came in as the final piece to move the team forward with a Matthew Stafford, which Adam will tell you is the greatest quarterback on the planet in the history of quarterbacks. So, you understand that Ebron put up better numbers because he played with a better quarterback. Hockenson's come in. He's had a quarterback exchange, and not only that, he's had to deal with backup quarterbacks multiple times for extended parts of the season. Last year, Jared Goff getting a sense of the offense. And still, with all of that going on, the dude is performing at 44% reception rate in a tight window when he gets them. He's 6th among tight ends who are eligible to be rated. So he's still right there in the top 5, and he hasn't had the team around him.
Here's the question. Has the position TJ Hockenson's been put in with the offense, has it been better? Is it in the past, or is this the best offense that he's going to be played with along with Goff? If the guys are healthy, the offensive line, which is paid, well, the offense is one of the is the highest paid offense in the league. Right? But there's talent there. And if everybody else is healthy and efficient, you would expect TJ Hockenson to be more efficient. What I'm trying to say is that he has, just as much as Goff, Hockenson hasn't worked with the full element of what the Lions offense can be. Well, if he's got to be, for them to be successful, and any chance to be over 6.5 wins is what Vegas has, then he's got to be productive. But if Ragnow's back, if the offense is blocking like they should, if their running game continues, right, their play action, then he should be a big part. What did we learn last year? Who's the security blanket? Amon-Ra St. Brown in the slot. What is a tight end? He's a glorified slot player. Hence, there's your 2 on one side and the other, and then you got a speed burner here. Then we haven't even talked about like Cephas or whoever else is going to be opposite.
Shark.
Then you got Swift out of the backfield, Williams, whatever you want. There's opportunity. And I think, right, what do we like about TJ?
Everything.
Can he block?
Yes.
He can block, right? He plays inside. So I think this with Ben Johnson, with the offense, with what they want to do, it's centered, and he's an integral part, just like all the other great offenses in this league use their tight end, right? Hence the Kelce's.
Well, that's what I was
Andrews.
just going to do. Spence, can you throw that list back up and let's take a look at this and let's play the game. This is the game I like to play when I'm evaluating any player. If I take George Kittle off San Francisco and I give TJ Hockenson George Kittle's role, is he going to put up better numbers than he has? Of course he has, because San Francisco, their offense is predicated on that tight end. That's probably their number one go-to outside of Debo, right? Yeah. Outside of Debo, it's Kittle. And then you look at Travis Kelce. Is that offense built around the tight end running up the seam?
Yes.
You're damn right it is. And they have a quarterback that could be an all-time great getting him the ball. Then you look at it, Darren Waller. Waller is kind of an exception. He just performs.
Waller has made Derek Carr, gave Derek Carr the level to step up, which now, in my opinion, to me, he's one of the more improved quarterbacks, and he's a guy that I like as a quarterback in this league. But that connection between him and Waller, that relationship's established.
And once again, if I switch out Mark Andrews and TJ Hockenson, Hockenson's going to be putting up numbers because Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field, so he's going to be in a tight end heavy offense.
And they have no receivers anyways.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we're evaluating TJ Hockenson strictly on the Lions. Let's really put him on different teams and see what he would do. He'd be a top 5 tight end in any one of those places.
Yeah, and right now, obviously, this is the last year of his rookie deal. TJ Hockenson is making $4.9, so almost $5 million a year. He is the, 26th highest paid tight end in the league. You're looking at, if you want to re-sign him, he's going to be around $14 to $15 million a year. He's going to be around there. That's what he's going to be asking for. That's how you get into that top 5 category. Because once George Kittle and Travis Kelce are done with their current deals, they're going to be asking for $20 million a year. They're going to be asking for wide receiver money, which they deserve. So I think you should pay him now, because you see what Njoku just got. Njoku just got a deal where he's starting off at $13 million a year, and then he's going to be closing in at 15, 16 mil at the end of it. And I think TJ Hockenson has shown more than David Njoku. They both have the same kind of injury history. I think they're both equal caliber of player when healthy. So I expect whoever pays Hockenson, I hope it's the Lions, because I like him. I think he's a good piece for all the reasons you guys have explained. They're going to have to pay him $15+ million a year.
And you should pay him before Kittle resigns.
Yes.
Kittle is asking for wide receiver type money, which he should. I mean, because he is that valuable to that offense. But yeah, once that contract gets signed, it is going to set the precedent for tight end money moving forward. So yeah, I have no problem with the Lions getting it done this year, not waiting to bite the bullet and have to deal with a massive, massive contract and try to compare him to Kittle.
It's all about what the market dictates. Price of a brick going up. Like, you're going to have to pay these guys.
Now, is he a guy, because of that you would consider trading? Because he has trade value to get somebody else? I know football trades are different than that, or with the cap and stuff like that.
If you know you're not re-signing him, yeah, you should trade him to get value.
Okay. I don't think a team is going to trade that much for him when they know they can just re-sign it, or they can just sign him next year if we don't franchise tag him.
And franchise him. You can always franchise him.
What are the odds that he gets franchised? High. But then he
would be the guy you franchise.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You know what? And I see that in the chat thread. That's probably more than likely. But would you have a problem paying him 13, 14, 15 million a year if he produced?
Not at all.
That's the thing. I think this year is going to tell us a lot, not only about Hockenson, but how our offense is going to be looking moving forward,
That's what I'm
too.
saying.
Yeah.
And that's how the offense looks. Is he an integral part of the offense? He doesn't have to be, Kittle or Kelsey or whatever to this offense, but he has to be the best, the best for this offense.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting because I don't know what type of offense Ben Johnson is going to instill this year. Dan Campbell, is going to come in as well. And we didn't really get a full view of what a Dan Campbell offense is till like week 10 of last year. And then he finally hit his stride, week 13 of last year. So I don't really know what this offense is going to be. All I know is we're paying them a hell of a lot of money, so they better perform on the field. That's all I know.
Well, that's what it is. And then, you know what? That's why we have the clock set. We got another season and all these questions that will need to be answered. But if you're having to answer these big money questions and who you're going to pay and that means your team's getting better. So hopefully they're getting better. You know what rocks, though? I mean, what rivets? A frog. You know what rivets? A big frog. Yes, Big Frog in Novi. And you know what? You can get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you. They will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. Make sure you tell them Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network sent you.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Darren McCarty up here on the desk. We were just having a conversation about should we pay Hockenson $15+ million a year, and the chat is pretty much split 53 to 47%, but it's leaning towards yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's also too with production. And the money, the money fits in there and stuff like this. If he's a big part of this offense, I don't think you have. I think to Spence's point is that you want to re-sign him and get him in the $13, $14, $15 million a year, because if you see that potential moving forward as this team gets better, then you're gonna run into you hope when you run into having to pay the wide receivers, it's the Jameson Williams and the Amon-Ra St. Browns and the guys that you've developed because you know what you've got. So
right,
you're gonna have to pay somebody that big money of $20-some million. It's just when you're gonna need to do it.
Well, it'll be interesting, but once again, it's nice to have a GM that we trust to make the right decision in that position. It's not like, oh, well, Brad Holmes just going to be spending stupid money. He's going to do what's best for the team, and I think we all have that faith moving forward. This is a fun thing that Spencer put in the prep. Who is the most dominant player in the NFL right now? And is there a Lion that will ever reach this level? And a couple of the options up on the screen right now: Aaron Donald, Trent Williams, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, TJ Watt, or other. And
the eyeball test, it's Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, from what you saw in the last two plays of the Super Bowl, especially the last play where if you watch
he won the Super Bowl.
If you watch the replay, where Chase has buries Jalen Ramsey in the dirt. Mm-hmm. He broke his ankle, had him beat down the sideline, but the fact that Aaron Donald beat two guys and was in Joe Burrow's face before he could even get it off, that's the guy you want on defense, right? The dominance and stuff like this. I guess, what about the question on there is, who's the imposter, right? We're going to find out this year about Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers,
he doesn't have anybody to throw to.
With everything else, and I see it in the clips talking about tight ends. Tanya's going to have a big year. No. Push comes to shove. This is it, Mouthy. You don't have your Devontae Adams and stuff like this, and if you're that good, you're a regular season player. You're a great NFL. You're a great player. But, out of that list, he's the last one because I can't trust him. I think the other clutch thing is what he can do is on the my defensive guy is Aaron Donald, my offensive guy is Patrick Mahomes. I think that what you've seen in the past couple years is he's gotten humbled a little bit by just pushing the edge and it's like he had to figure out where the limit was of
sidearm throws.
Just where it was, because he gets away with everything because he's that talented.
Yes.
Now you got to think that after getting slapped around a little bit, not taken serious, he's going to come back. But the offensive ability, the arm strength, just the running ability, what I've seen with him, those are my offensive and defensive guys.
See, if I'm going offensive, I'm going to somebody that isn't even on that list up there. I got to go Deebo Samuel. To me, he is the most dominant offensive player in the league. And you saw it last year. You handed the ball to him on a little end around, he's busting people's ankles, and he's going up the field. You give it to him on a crossing pattern,
I can't
he's busted.
Argue with that one.
The guy is so dynamic, whether he's in the backfield, whether he's in the slot, whether he's wind up deep. And he threw some touchdown passes last year, too. To me, that is a guy, you put him on any team, he's going to be the best athlete and the best performer offensively.
I like what this chat thread is saying, having the ability of guys coming up. You mentioned before you said this, do we have the ability of somebody getting to this list? Because Josh Allen, at quarterback position, he's getting better and better and better, arm strength, running ability stuff. It's, you look at the talent of what we have here. If there was going to be a Lion, right, that might crack that, you got to look at Jameson Williams first with the speed that he's supposed to have. The fact that could be a dominant speed kills. And if he's got what they say, Tyreek Hill type speed that you could outrun guys, I don't care what it is. You can't challenge speed. It's a killer. So now it's one thing not just to have speed and be able to run, right? But you also have to be able to play. But there's a guy offensively that you look to. You also can look on the offensive line as Penei Sewell.
That's like my guy on the Lions,
right?
For sure.
Because I think at different positions, I saw Trent Williams up there. Those guys just get forgotten.
Right.
Right. They get forgotten.
The big nasties.
Right. Exactly. But if you break it down, there it is. And because it should be right. So our offensive line is one of the highest paid.
50 million,
so there's
50 plus.
expectations to those guys.
Yep.
And if Sewell, Ragnow, and Taylor Decker, with just those three, develop that sort of meanness, then I think you get to what we had in the past, where you hear the Purple Peter or the
Purple Peter,
Purple People Eaters, Purple People Eaters,
better than the Blue
Purple
Balls.
People Eaters, in Minnesota, or the Lions and stuff like that. So.
If I'm looking at the Lions, I got to go Penei Sewell, because who's the first person you said? Aaron Donald. And who matched him strength for strength when we played the Rams? Penei Sewell. And that is a rookie season coming off an off year. So I can't wait for Penei Sewell. We talked about Cade Cunningham getting his man body. My goodness, when Penei Sewell already an absolute gorilla out there, as Joy would say, just getting him evolved and as strong as he can be, he just dominates. And I get so excited to watch that guy just pummel people every Sunday. What about you, Sam? What you thinking about this?
I mean, Penei Sewell is the obvious choice. And for the record, I don't think he could.
Christina Gennari's the obvious choice.
The obvious choice, yes. But
true.
as far as Lions, who can be like that echelon of dominant, I don't think he could ever be Trent Williams, because Trent Williams is the best offensive lineman I've ever seen. But could he be like David Bakhtiari or like Tristan Wirfs? I think so. Could he be a perennial Pro Bowler who makes like double-digit Pro Bowls, a few All-Pros, and retires as a Hall of Famer? I certainly think so. So, yeah, Penei Sewell's one. Aiden Hutchinson, I know he's a rookie, but I'm very high on him. He's obviously never going to be Aaron Donald, but I think he could be like a Joey Bosa type. So it's good that we're even having a conversation where you can think of people who you look at as like future superstars, Hall of Famers, All-Pros, Pro Bowlers, when very recently it was looking very bleak, and now it's not looking so bleak.
Yeah, what about you, Spencer?
Well, right now in the league, I think it's Aaron Donald. He is I know you don't really factor in like video game rankings, but he's been a 99 on Madden for 7 consecutive years.
As he should be.
Yeah, and this guy I think he is the best defensive player in the history of the NFL. I think he is the best football player I personally have ever seen in my life. Like, the guy is a complete madman. For offense, I'm going Derrick Henry, because he is an unstoppable force coming out of that backfield. It was like 5 weeks into him being hurt, like Derrick Henry, and he was still leading the NFL in rushing yards.
That was wild.
The guy is a monster. So I'll go those two. And for someone that I think on the Lions right now could be thought of as the most dominant player in the NFL possibly, I'm going Frank Ragnow. Because when he was healthy, when he played a full season, he was arguably the best, if not the second best, center in football. Can he get up to that Quentin Nelson, that Travis Frederick level? We'll have to see. But if so, he can be the most dominant player in the second most important position on the offensive line. So I'm gonna go Frank Ragnow.
I like it. And once again, I like that we can actually have this conversation with multiple options on the team. He's picking Jameson Williams. I got Penei Sewell. You got Ragnow. And all of those are debatable, and all of those we can actually have that discussion. Braylon's in here. Braylon, you want to sit down on the couch and grab the mic? You got couch cam ready to go?
Yeah.
Because we're talking NFL, and an NFL player walks in the damn room. We got to talk to him about this.
I got a quick say before I get into it.
Yeah. I mean, Braylon's going to be prepping for the Bottom Line, which is on every day here at Woodward Sports 2 to 4 on our YouTube.
Braylon, you want to see this list before you dive into it?
Yeah, have you seen the list? It's most dominant players in the NFL. So we're not only talking about most dominant in the NFL, we're talking who of the Lions could potentially make a list like this. So let's go A first. Who's your most dominant player in the NFL?
Oh, come on, man. It's the guy that should have been Super Bowl MVP and got snubbed last year. It's Aaron Donald.
Okay.
But I like that list.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Come on, D-Mac knows, man. Like,
Thank
the guy
you.
he's a freak of nature, but not even just that. Plays the game at a cerebral level, and he doesn't get credit for that, though.
Right.
Trent Williams is amazing as well. He deserves to be on the list as well, but Aaron Donald's the guy.
Okay. Now, as far as the Detroit Lions, who of our young core could potentially be on that list?
Don't call me a homer. But,
Well, it's a Lions pick. You got to be a homer.
But I'm talking about the Lions pick.
Oh,
yeah,
Aiden Hutchinson.
You get it. Yeah, homer. I'm gonna go with Aiden. I think.
Okay.
The reason I'm going to go Aiden, because one, he's a leader already. He's a guy that works. And if you watch his, not just the time that he did last year at Michigan, obviously he was very dominant in the Big Ten season, but this offseason, this mini camp, this training camp, so far now that they've been done with mini camp and they're getting in the middle of that, he's been working out at a different level. And we were having this conversation, and somebody said he's of the level of a Kyle Vandenbot. I was like, I don't know what grass you're smoking. Kyle Vandenbot doesn't have the athletic explosion that Aiden Hutchinson has. He doesn't have the right nowness. Like, I wasn't ready as a rookie coming into the league, D-Mac. I don't know about you. I had the athletic skill, and Michigan, they taught me some things, but I wasn't ready to come in and take over and be a leader and dominate, and that's what I've seen out of him already. The guy is working out at a different, inhuman type level.
Did you see him push that dude off the screen the other day in that workout video?
I sent it to the group chat,
yeah,
and everybody said, it was like, did you see like the Lions comments? And that's why I think the Lions are going to be very special, is because you don't see this type of support from teams like that. Like, if you look at a comment, and don't get me wrong, there are other teams that, players post stuff.
Hype each other up.
And their players, they hype each other out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the first 11 comments were all Detroit Lions. They beat the fans to commenting on it. So I think they're going to be very special. But Aiden Hutchinson is a guy I think can be on that list of dominant, because I don't see anything. He was, to me, TJ Watt, Aiden Hutchinson was better than TJ Watt in college. So I want to see what happens. But I think Aiden Hutchinson is the answer for me.
All right. Well, we had to get your opinion. You walked in right at the football segment. So thank you for joining us, Braylon Edwards. 2 to 4 today. Him, Ryan, Armani, and Maz. And I'm sure you guys will be discussing this as well as the Tigers updates from their new draft.
Home run derby's on our list today.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about D-Mac. Be interested to get your thought on this. I know Sam Flannels. If you had to put together your ultimate home run derby, 6 entrants, who would your entrant list look like? What would it look like?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Oh, man. Just off the top of my head, you got to go Bonds, McGuire, Babe Ruth, Miguel Cabrera. I'd put Prince Fielder in there, because when he entered that home run derby, he crushed it, man.
Yeah.
Prince Fielder was very entertaining in the home run derby.
The first 3 you said, I have all 3 of those on mine.
Okay.
But you also have to think about a home run derby contest is what? Stamina.
Yeah.
And Miggy, he's not a stamina hitting home run type guy, and neither is Prince. So
I'd like to see Shohei in there.
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy's another good pick. Griffey should be the instant.
Just because of his beautiful swing.
Yeah.
I can watch that swing all day.
It's going to be a fun thing to talk about, man.
All right, and you're throwing a little shindig too, man.
I got the guys coming over. Yeah. Everybody here has the invite, man. We're doing a little bit at the house. Want to watch the home run derby.
Who do you think's going to win?
It's going to be Soto or Ramirez.
Okay.
I think Soto or Ramirez win tonight.
You know, Pete Alonso could three-peat? He's built.
It's
You're talking about a guy built for the home run derby.
Damn, Mac's right about that. But as the Tampa Bay Lightning found out, it's tough to three-peat.
Okay.
Well, if you're a betting man and you want to bet on who's going to win tonight at the Home Run Derby, make sure you go to mybookie.com. That's where you can place your bets on the Home Run Derby. Fish loves placing bets on sumo there. You can pretty much bet on anything you want. And when you go, make sure you sign up with promo code Woodward. If you're a first-time person signing up, you will get hooked up with some free cash that you can place on whatever you want. So make sure you go there to bet tonight. mybookie.com.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
The Academy of Warren is a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, and can also be used for 7-on-7 football. So kindergarten to 8th grade features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics. So enroll today if you're interested. academyofwarren.net. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for being a part of the chat today. Make sure you hit that like button right now. Smash it. Just go over there. That little thumbs up. Just click it on YouTube. My name is Stick. I am filling in for the one, the only Neil Rule. That is Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, sitting on the desk along with Flannel Sam and Spenmo Rax, a.k.a. Spencer Raxter, in the house. And we're talking about the Pistons. We just talked about the most dominant player in the NFL. It was cool to have Braylon hop in, and obviously when the NFL player agrees with you, you're like, yeah, I know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling. It's like when D-Mac backs you up in hockey, you're like, see, I got D-Mac backing me up. What the hell do you know? But the Pistons have the 8th-ranked young core in the NBA. And you're looking at this list, the Memphis Grizzlies with Ja Morant is up there. You got the Pelicans with Zion if he ever plays again. Cleveland's interesting that they're that high on the list, but they did have pretty much the Rookie of the Year on their team last year. Boston Celtics, of course, made their way deep into the playoffs. Atlanta Hawks, I don't look at them as too much of a young. I don't look at Trae Young as young
Same
anymore.
with the Celtics.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Tatum's been in the league a long time. Oklahoma City Thunder, they just had a nice draft. The Toronto Raptors, then the Detroit Pistons, then the Houston Rockets, which the Rockets have become my new favorite hated team. And then, of course, Pablo and the Magic. I don't like that list. I honestly don't, because especially when we're talking young core. First of all, there's only like 10 teams in the league with a young core like the Pistons. I don't know if there's any team with a younger core than the Pistons,
Definitely
honestly.
not.
And so, like, if this was ranked core for the entire league, then maybe I would accept this number 8 ranking.
Yeah.
Because of what they added this year and what they're projected moving forward. But the young core, I think they should be much higher, maybe top 4 on this list. I don't think they should be above Memphis. I think Memphis has a very high ceiling with what they are as a basketball team. But everybody else up there is debatable. D-Mac, how you feeling about the Pistons being ranked 8th on that specific list? You don't care?
I don't think it's right. I like our core. I mean, it's like, who cares your young core and stuff like this? I think 8's a little high, like low. Like I would say they're one of the best young.
I would say so too.
That we have. But again, where does it go to? Maybe it goes to that has won. So we haven't proven it yet. Some of the other teams that are above us have proven that they can win and maybe have 2 out of the 3. But I like what we've added. I wouldn't trade any of our young guys, at least until I see what we have. And I got a little taste of something in the spring league, and that was just enough that I want more.
Yes.
With Cade and with the big guys involved. So let's see what we have here.
Yeah. Sam, I want to get your opinion on this because you're pretty analytical. Like, you know the ages of these teams. You know the salary caps. You know their statistics. Do you think the Pistons should be that far down on the young core list?
Well, when I'm looking at this list, I kind of understand what their premise is. If the Boston Celtics are a young core, then obviously they're better. I think the Grizzlies with like Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant are better. If Zion Williamson is healthy, if you got Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, that's better. Cleveland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, they're better. The Atlanta Hawks, if you want to count DeJounte Murray, you got DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, and John Collins. I think that's a better core. Oklahoma City, that depends on Chet Holmgren because they have Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Raptors, I don't really see them as a young core. I see them, they have some good young players like Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, but to me, Pascal Siakam is their best player, and I don't consider him young. So right now, I would put the Pistons at 6 on this list because guys like Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, they're still unproven.
Yeah, well, the Pistons arguably got younger with this draft, right? Like, Duren's not even, he's not going to be 19 till what? November. And last year, they were their average on the team, 24.8 years old, and that ranked them 4th lowest in the entire NBA. And we just got younger.
Yeah.
So I think of the youngest core, the Pistons should be on top of that list. But Memphis last year was 24.2 years. So what do you think, Spencer?
It's Memphis makes a lot of sense to me. Like what Sam said with Desmond Bane, with John Morant, and with Jaren Jackson Jr. Those are all younger guys. Obviously, they're going on proven commodities in the NBA. They're not taking into point rookies that haven't played yet. So I kind of understand it to that point. With I just don't get like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram. These guys are like 5-6 years in the league. Like, yeah, I understand they're 24, 25 years old, but come on, is a 6-year veteran, 5-year veteran still your young core?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It kind of made me mad, but I see it from what they're looking at.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be mentioned on any list, of course.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I hate how, first of all, they shrunk it down to young teams, and then they put us at the bottom of the list of young teams. I think the Pistons are going to surprise a lot of people this year, especially one thing that I've noticed about this Pistons team is they are all friends, man.
Yeah.
Like, you watch the Summer League game, who's sitting courtside? Cade's sitting courtside. When Killian wasn't playing, he's sitting courtside with Cade. And, you saw that one where the ball bounced over, and each one of the guys sitting courtside touched the ball.
Yeah.
And I know that's stupid, and I know it may be a nuanced thing, but to me, those types of little interactions are so important for any team building towards a championship, because if you don't like each other, you're not going to play as hard for each other as you normally would. Yes, they are professionals, and yes, they're getting paid and should give 100% effort every night. But if you want somebody to give 110%, 120%, you got to talk about like my man D-Mac right here, who's the ultimate teammate. And when it comes to that, D-Mac, when you and your team click like this and you're all brothers, you're giving more than you traditionally would, even as a professional athlete, correct?
Well, I think that as a collective, like, you can only get, like, what people say, give 110. You can't. There's only 100. But whatever it is,
right.
Whatever you put it out of giving, what you can do, and this is about life too, is that as a collective, you can only do it so much yourself, but with another person, you can. It's the human connection thing where you can do more together. You look at the grind line as a perfect example. We're not Hall of Famers and whatever else, but sure as heck, you remember us as a collective. Well, the team concept is that way. So when you're all operating, and what it can be is you operate more so on the same mindset, on the same wavelength. So you don't have to think, is he thinking that? Am I thinking? No, and that's through reps and through trust and stuff like this.
And it's through going out and hanging out with each other, though, too. It's not just on the ice stuff. It's you and Drapes. You stood up in his wedding. Those things mean
everything.
something. Right.
This is on the ice, off the ice. You know what everybody likes in their coffee. You know what everybody likes when you play Juice Boy, which is like the breakaway contest or whatever. Whoever loses has to get everybody else, whatever they have in the dressing room. You know what I'm saying? You're the server. But here's the one thing as a collective. So now I saw something, and I'll use Jalen Duren as an example, because they were talking about the maturity because of how you can hear them on the court and talking. It's one of these things is, I think he was talking to Beef Stew, and he said, trust me, I'm going to get it there. I'm going to throw it there. Don't be wondering. Just go there. I'm going to get it to you. So that's the thing, is where I don't have to think, that I know. I see, for example, Drapes or Maltz there. I know I put the puck there because that's where they're going. And that's the more reps. And you nailed it too, Stick. It's not just on the ice. Now, you can have that connection. It's special on the ice. But then when it develops more off the ice, at least to respect, it doesn't mean you have to be best buddies and stuff. But you have to know what the other guy likes or doesn't like.
Right, and who's got your back. And, and you're talking about, like, leading somebody there. I think the Golden State Warriors are a prime example of that, about how the connection and how long they play together and the timing of it. The Golden State Warriors turn the ball over a lot, but a lot of that is just throwing the ball ahead 40 feet because I know Steph's running to a spot, or I know Clay's going to be at that spot. And that's what has produced multiple championships for them. You could tell not only are they tight on the court, they're in sync off the court. And that's what I'm seeing a lot with this young Pistons core. And aside from the talent, that's what excites me the most. Because when you have that as a team, you are a unit. You're one. You're not just a bunch of talented guys out there trying to get it done. Prime example, we can go back to the 2004 NBA championship. The Lakers, a bunch of dudes just trying to get it done with their talent. The Pistons, a team. They enjoyed each other. They could depend on each other. They had each other's backs. And that's what I'm seeing with this young Pistons core. So I would rank them much higher on that list, but there we go. They are ranked number 8 on that list. And got to be honest, I can't wait for them to prove them wrong. Because who put up that list? Bleacher Report?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to take that list and shove it right in Bleacher Report's bottom side. But first, get your bottom side looking right. Do those squats, and you can do those at Planet Fitness. That is where you got to go. They are our studio sponsor. Plus, you can go there for just $10 a month. And don't forget, if you're a high school student, you can still work out for free until the end of August. All high school students can go in. I believe you got to be the age of 14 through 19. Make sure you bring your high school ID, and they will let you work out for free because your fitness is essential at Planet Fitness.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live. All right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Well, if you ask Rogelio Castilla, Alta, the uptime, it matters. You saw him cruising around, dropping the dirt, having play. Well, you know why? Because that Alta uptime matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a bog project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. So if you saw everybody having so much fun on Saturday, you can too. Give Alta a call today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. You can be playing in the dirt real soon.
And once again, what a fun event Alta had on Saturday. It was out in Howell. It's called the Big Dig. They brought a bunch of tractors out there and let little kids play with the tractors, dig in the dirt, have all that good fun. And it was just really cool the way they set it up. And they raised a ton of money for the American Cancer Society. And that's really what it's all about. As you know, cancer has affected my life, took my dad's life. So anything they can do to kick cancer's ass, I am all a part of, and I will be there. So thank you to Alta, and thank you to the American Cancer Society for doing that on Saturday. Now, D-Mac, let's throw it to your wheelhouse. Stevie Y doubling down on the young core is what Spencer put as the title of this, and he wants to know, are the Red Wings a destination now? Are people excited to play for the Detroit Red Wings again? And we have a graphic up right now with a quote from Steve Yzerman. There's a core of young players that potentially has a chance to be pretty good team one day. Players recognize it. I think it was attractive for some of the players, and he's talking about the free agents coming in. Do you think we're now a destination?
Well, I'm going to paraphrase both Ben Sherratt, your new defenseman, and David Perron, your new forward, in the fact that they both said when Steve Yzerman calls, you pretty much pick up and see what he has to say. So they're excited. Two veteran guys have been around. Perron obviously won a cup in St. Louis. Is probably one of the best right-handed shot power play guys in the league. So you're going to add that, which we need to address our power play scoring. But yeah, no, I definitely think it is. And you know what? How I know it is? Because Stevie just told you it was. So forget about me sitting here, trying to say, hey, the guys, they want to come and play here. Trust me, they're yet. No, because he sees it. And you know what that tells me is how many calls that he's talked about that veteran guys want to come here and they see what's building here. So get your tickets now because they're not going to be around. And now you look at the guys that we added. Right. You did everything where you addressed, and we broke this down. You addressed your needs from your goalie to your defense, especially your defensive defenseman, more your Ben Sherrod or your Ollie Mata, to establish defensive defenseman with pedigree that can move on. Then you've added a guy that can win in a 2C and Andrew Kopp, who is a proven face-off winner, and David Perron, who's Brad Marchand light and just a fierce competitor and a leader. So just those guys there lets you know that. And then we continue to draft. I mentioned Edvinsson earlier. There's so many guys you haven't, but Soderblom and Johansson and Alberger and all these guys that are vying for competition. We look at it and you can go through and say, oh, I think these are what the line's going to be. You have no idea. You don't know if Stevie's done. And you don't know what moves he's going to have to make in order to make this roster right, because it's a little bit overflowing right now.
Do you think there is any little gamesmanship from Steve Yzerman, like putting that word out there, like, yeah, we're a destination now, and kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like, hey, I'm getting calls, or is he not that type of guy?
No, it's not. He doesn't need to posture. His posturing is being quiet. But what he's going there, too, is I see it as him saying, man, it's even more so that he would say that it would set up, but it's even more so of a destination place than he's letting on, because he's letting it on like, wow, we're just become a destination place. It's like, wow, a lot of guys wanted to come play here. I didn't have enough money for everybody. I didn't want it. Here's the thing, I don't want everybody.
Right.
That's the best part. Steve Yzerman,
we're no longer pitching
say,
from the
Johnny
trap.
Gaudreau, you're great. Like, you were never in the conversation, because I guarantee Steve Yzerman doesn't think Johnny Gaudreau is the number one center guy to take you to the promised land. He's waiting for that guy. If Dylan's your 2C.
Jesus.
So, that's him just sort of, I think that's him doing when I say, well, if anybody else has more than 4 cups around here, please speak up. It's sort of like a small flex of what he's realized. To me, I think it's more of him going, oh, wow, guys really want to play here now.
Yeah, and do you think, as far as where we're at, and I know when they asked Steve Yzerman on this draft night, hey, where are you at in your rebuild? He's like, it's the third year, so I'm in the third year of the rebuild.
I think I'm going to stand firm with my clock that I set up for the Lions. It can run on the Pistons and the Red Wings. We can run all three. If you want us to do a graphic in the back, Justin, just add the Wings and the Pistons to that clock for the next season. But, yeah, you got to be excited.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I know where he's at with the 3 years, but do you think he's further than he thought he would be in year 3?
You put my clock because here's the thing. Up until this draft or this free agent thing, everybody almost said with the regression at the end of the season is, oh, okay, because all I'm hearing is we need answers now. Oh, he's got to prove it. He's got a GM. Shut up, sit back, and let Stevie Y 1919 your butt all over this freaking hockey rink.
I love it.
And no, exactly. So, I guess you're all dumb if you don't believe in the 1919 hot take. So question the guy. Question him. Keep questioning him, and he's going to keep doing that. But what he just said in that quote is, you better believe it is my job's going to get easier because now guys are going to take a pay cut to come here. You don't think so? You don't think that big guy or whatever, you want to get those 2 guys? How did Yzerman get these 2 guys? I know he was close against the money. And you know what? Because they said they did what Johnny Gaudreau did. Didn't take all the money in Calgary, took a little bit less to go where he wanted to go. That's the new NHL. That's the Steve Yzerman. That's the Detroit Red Wings. So,
I absolutely love how fired up you get talking about Steve Yzerman.
Well, because I think of all the idiots out there. Because you don't understand.
Get him, D-Man.
He's a messiah, dude.
Get him.
He's a messiah.
I'm the one. Here's what's the most frustrating.
The messiah,
I want to jump down his throat and criticize him the hardest. But I can't because I got the playbook, right? Ha, 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 ha. I was raised by the same guys. So I look at the menu and go, oh, yeah, this is what it is. I spent more time around this guy than anything. He's laying it out. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Why do I be quiet? You'll never hear what I want. The minute I tell you what I want, we'll never get it. All right? So, but it, just so you know, everything that we got, I wanted. So it actually works out. But no, it gets me fired up because you don't understand how lucky we are.
Right. Well,
because we're not going to be back here, and then you know what it's going to be again? 25 years of not missing the playoffs, and we're going to have a whole nother generation that doesn't appreciate it till we get back. But I don't know if I'll be around, because once he gets this right, it's right forever. Hashtag Wiser Plan 1919.
And this is what I love, because I'm sitting with you today in 2022, and I can only imagine the intensity in the locker room when Stevie Y got up to speak to you guys, and just how passionately you're speaking about that man today. I can't even imagine what went on in that locker room before big games.
Then wouldn't come from him. His big speeches, the best ones he had, were probably one-on-one or not in front. Otherwise,
so he'd pull you aside
in practice. No, he's not that guy.
Okay.
The speeches come from everywhere else. Right?
But when he's
going to mock the speech. Right? Somebody's going to say, he's going to say, shut up. Really? Like we don't know? Right? Unless it's like a big thing. That's why we called him F. Hutton. So when he did, it was like, F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Right.
Drag the needle across the record. Because he wouldn't. But then when he did, oh yeah. Edge of your seat.
I love it, man.
And it was more like... Stevie yells at referees and me, but that's it, right? The other time he's always calm, cool, and
what do he yell at you about?
Everything I deserved. He's always right, 99.9% of the time.
How hard was that to deal with? Like, damn it, this guy's right again.
Took me 3 years to stop sucking my thumb and crying in the corner to realize he picked on me because he liked me.
Yeah.
The reason I'm still here today is a lot of it is because it's that.
Yeah, you never invest that effort on somebody you don't think is better, right?
He's learned how to pet the dog. He didn't know how to pet the dog. He knows how to kick the dog, but that's why I always say kick the dog, pet the dog. Because Stevie didn't know how to pet the dog. I mean, a little bit now. But no, I cherish it because he's made me the man and sort of the person and never sugarcoated anything.
Yeah, he's the antithesis of the strongest one in the room, or the loudest one's the weakest one, because he's the quiet one and the strongest one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100 million%. 100 million%.
Well, I want to hear more of those locker room stories, D-Mac. I love that stuff. So grateful to have somebody like that in my life, and it just so happens to be the guy that's going to turn this organization around. What are the odds? It comes full circle. One thing I'm grateful to have in my life, and that is a mulligan. I hit it on the course yesterday because I did not shoot the best, but I was able to wash it down and make all my sadness go away with that 8% mulligan iced tea, lemonade, and vodka. You can get it at some of your local stores. Ask for it by name. It's by Gypsy Vodka, a local Michigan company, and we love those brothers up in Petoskey. So make sure you ask for it when you're out on the course or just chilling in the backyard. The mulligan, 8%. Go get some.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Hello, it's Stick for Chili Peppers Tanning. Have you ever had a butt crack full of sand? Well, you know how annoying that can be. Avoid all of it by going to Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can just lay down in a nice sanitized bed. No butt cracks full of sand, just smooth butts, nicely tanned. And that's all thanks to Chili Peppers, because they have the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. So you don't want that butt crack full of sand, you know where you go. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Thank you, and don't forget to wipe. Welcome back to Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
That was a Sam Day read.
Yes. This is Sam Day reporting about your butt crack full of sand. We like to do this from time to time. It's called Ask D-Mac. If you got a question for the man, the myth, the legend over there, especially after that rant on Stevie Y, which people are absolutely loving in the chat. And that's what I love about
I think
D-Mac.
Kurt Romero nailed it, guys. Kurt, you got this one. About liking it, but my rant's about stupid, short-sighted people. A lot of fans. I just keep it 100%.
Yep.
The way that you can disagree with me, you're wrong. It's just, I know. I've been there, done that, and he continues to show. Nothing that I've ever said has not played out in the seriousness of the way it is, of where they're at.
Right.
So I didn't answer your question. Steve, you said, where is this team at? Right?
No, I was saying, do you think it's further than he thought it would be?
This team, over the draft and free agency, just took 2 big steps forward, right? They took as big a step forward in this offseason as they did during the season. Now, maybe not as much, but I'm saying the development, not in the record, in the development of your Mo Siders, your Lucas Raymond, your Dylan Larkin as your captain. You got 30 goals out of Bertuzzi, Jacob Verona. You know what I'm saying? To see what they are. So putting them together, you should be very excited.
All right, well, let's get to some of these questions in the chat. For Ask DMAC, should the Red Wings offer sheet Rasmus Sandin from the Leafs for a second? He's a 22-year-old left shot defenseman.
Hashtag Wiser plan.
I defer to Steve. I defer
to Steve. That's way too into the. But the why he's asking that question is age and a left shot defenseman. Right. You have to kick the tires. Right. You have to kick the tires. The new thing in the NHL is what you see is a lot of times it's a lot of these first rounders and young stars, as we saw with the Strome from New York that re-signed Arizona or something like this, or the goalie that Samsonov that just signed with Toronto. They weren't qualified, which made them free agents. So the new NHL with the salary cap, that's why with Stevie knowing exactly what he wants to do, he could go out and do that. He has the assets to do that. It's whether he wants to or not.
All right. Question for DMAC from the away fan. Do you have a favorite playoff game that wasn't a Stanley Cup final game? Game 6, 2002 playoffs in Colorado when we were down 3-2.
Okay. We won 2-0, and I scored a second goal, the shorthanded goal. Right, that's the Statue of Liberty play. Just because that, talking about the stuff that we learned in 97, 98, or being the last hurrah of the team, it not being sort of done the easy way, even with that team, to win that game and to know that we were coming home, who'd have thunk we would have shut them out like we did? But the 2 games, I'll go game 6 and 7, not because I scored, but because those 2 games, the greatest goaltending performances by Dominic Hasek to shut out Colorado that I've ever seen.
Hasek was the most fun goalie I've ever watched in my life.
As long as he was in his net.
For sure.
No, he was always out of the net. He was always out of the net.
He couldn't. Hey,
doing
look,
cartwheels.
Fish,
like, dude,
I guarantee if Dominic Hasek stepped out of the net and played a puck, and our very own Sam Fisher stepped out of the net and played the puck with the goalie stick, Fish might be able to shoot it harder.
Hasek was a little skinny guy, wasn't he?
Skeletor.
I just got a quick update. It's not an SDMAC related, but it is Lions related because Madden ratings and stuff just dropped. And I know, don't put a lot of smoke into it, but Jameson Williams was ranked 2nd in speed for all wide receivers behind only Tyreek Hill. He got an 89 or 98 speed ranking.
But isn't that what we're told, how fast he is?
Yeah. Behind only Tyreek Hill.
But isn't Tyreek Hill the speed that he's compared to?
Yes, sir.
When I hear everything, it goes, he's as fast as Tyreek Hill. So, you know what? Guys, I do a skit about a media guide or a program when you walk into an arena or a stadium and you buy it. That's BS. That's like Playboy for athletes. Why? Because somebody makes it up. There's a human being that writes it. These Madden's ratings or hockey ratings, NHL, whatever like that, that's the truest form.
Yeah.
Because that's somebody irrelevant putting numbers in, finding it out. That's more legit than anything. I'd like to. Can you do a deep dive into those Madden rankings for tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's.
David
Can we do
Walker
a segment on them tomorrow
For sure.
to see if it's right, wrong, where it would be? It'd be interesting.
David
to
E.
see what
Walker
lines
saying TJ Hockenson's a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, he was
in the
ranked.
rankings.
He's
Man, why'd these just come out? We could have spent a whole show on this.
89 overall for TJ Hockenson.
See? And
I
people
would
want
think that's smart.
People want to compare him to Eric
We
Ebron.
can Twitter
Get out
about
of
it
here.
tonight, but there you go. We're going to do a deep dive, Neil will like that, into Madden ratings for the 2022 season. Are they legit? Too legit to quit? Or are they, what?
Neil just wants to do a deep dive on the salary caps.
Are they tour or are they manure?
The draft.
Tour
Ooh,
or manure?
I like that. I like that. Well, man, thank you guys for joining us today right here on Big
Great job,
D
as always,
Energy. Make sure you guys click the like before we get out of here. Thank you to everybody listening
One
on the
last
Roar.
thing. David Bliss, Joey Kosher, when he played for the Rangers, broke my helmet. We ended up hitting our heads on the ice. He looked at me and said, "You all right, kid?" I said, "Thanks for not killing me, Mr. Kosher. If you don't kill me, I'll haunt you, and we'll win a lot of cups together." Guys, have a great day. Deuces.
Big D out.